with a cheap, lying, no good, rotten, four-flushing, low-life, snake-licking, dirt-eating, inbred, overstuffed, ignorant, blood-sucking...
Shut up, fool!
There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally worthless.
You can't handle the truth.
It's all there, black and white, clear as crystal. You lose. Good day, sir.
Woo. Good Tuesday morning, folks. It is October the 14th. And it's hard to believe we're halfway through this month. We're almost exactly halfway through this month. Happy Charlie Kirk Day. That's right. Happy birthday, Charlie Kirk. So much wildness is going on, man. Special request when I saw that father rise from his wheelchair to welcome back his son, released by Hamas. One song came to mind, Everyday People by Sly and the Family Stone, sung by children. Everyday People, featuring Jack Johnson, Jason Mraz, Kevin Moe, turn around playing for. I'll see if I can, see if it'll allow me to play it. But yeah, I'm all for that because it was let me tell you something. If y'all did not see that yesterday, if you did not watch that yesterday, by the way, good morning, Zen. If y'all did not watch that and didn't see and weren't moved by the return of those hostages yesterday, oh my God. I gotta tell you, it was pretty emotional. I spent a good part of my morning watching all of the return of the hostages. My God. I mean, just it was incredible. It was really incredible. I was so stunned. It was I don't know what you I mean, seriously, I don't know how you can look at that and not be moved by it. I mean, seriously, I don't know how you can look at that and not be moved by it because it was powerful and it was raw and it was real and just the pure, overwhelming emotion coming from the family members. I can only imagine the hostages. And then you have the family members not sure if they would ever see their loved ones again. But wow, it was so tremendous. I couldn't stop watching it. Right, there was so much to watch, and then I watched all of Trump's speech to the Parliament. That was wild too, and it was wild for a couple of reasons. And it was just. The whole thing was overwhelming. So I will get that song loaded up. And as we get through the show and we get into this part of it, we're really talking about some of the events from yesterday. Because there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to talk about when it came down to all of that. I mean, it was mercy. It was incredible. It was incredible. And so we'll get to that. We'll get to that at the bottom of the hour, as we do. And right now we'll get into our daily stuff and our local things, and then we'll get into that part of it because it's a God. If you didn't say that stuff yesterday and didn't get moved by it, I don't know what's wrong with you as a human. I don't. But right now, let's take care of our local stuff, and we'll get to that. Good morning, Jen. But so let's do that. There's a lot of things happening. Oh, I got sent this thing. I didn't know this was a deal, by the way. So at Ole Miss, they have a spooky physics night. That's right. That's going to be this Friday, October the 17th, at the Jim and Thomas Duff Center for the Science and Technology Innovation. It'll be from 6 to 8:30. So what they're going to do is they tell you join us for a night of spooky physics demonstrations and fun for all ages. Wear your best costume. Bring the kiddies, folks. That's what they're telling you. Bring the kiddies out. You want to turn your kids on to science and cool stuff? This is the way to do it. This is from Emily Hollowell, who is the administrative assistant for the Department of Physics and Astronomy at Ole Miss. Their department is hosting its annual spooky physics night, which they wanted to bring to your attention. We would love to have kids from the region come learn about and enjoy physics. Like I said, it will be held at the Jim and Thomas Duff Center for Science and Technology Innovation on Friday, October 17th from 6 to 8:30 p.m. I mean, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And you don't have to be a child just to go watch this. They want people to come and see it. That would be pretty cool. That would be entertaining. If I wasn't calling a football game Friday night, I would be there. I would be there because that sounds like a lot of fun. That sounds like a lot of fun right there. That's interesting. I wonder if they're promoting it like that, they've got to do something interesting, right? Don't you think? They'd have to do something pretty interesting with the Halloween theme and physics. Certainly so. Certainly so. I can't see them doing that any other way. Trunk or Treat, once again, is October 28th here in Senatobia from 5 to 8 p.m. 5 to 6 is reserved for children 0 to 3. A canned good is required for entry. That's it. You ain't spending no money. Grab a can of food out of everybody's got at least one can of food. Grab it out of your pantry. Get your kids dressed up and go visit the Trunk or Treat. That's going to be down on Main Street and Front Street. All right. It's going to be a blast. It's always a lot of fun. They always go all out for this event. It's going to be a rocking good time. And on the 23rd, they've got Witches Night Out. Senatobia's got Witches Night Out. It's from 4:30 to 8:30. They're going to have wine tastings, costumes, contests. They're going to have a lot of the businesses will be open. It's on Main Street. And you have a lot of good deals going on. And not only that, they're going to have an after party at Woodchucks. And if you've never been to Woodchucks, that place is phenomenal. I love eating at Woodchucks. I do. Love the atmosphere. Love the waitresses. They're all just so cool to you, right? Everybody's cool to you. It's just a fun place to go eat and hang out. It really is. And so, which is not out. Like I said, there's lots of stuff to do. There's a ton of stuff to do. And I'm sure there's a lot more to do that I don't even know about. And I wish people would send them to me. Like the Baseball Main Street program tells us that the Boy Scout Troop 478 Panola County and the Panola Eagle Club, they've got their sporting clay fundraiser tournament. This is their inaugural sporting clay fundraiser tournament. You get 80, it's an 80 target course. You're going to get 320 targets per team. That's October 25th from, let's see if I can get this right on air because I don't want to be sure that I'm not lying to you. It is sponsored by the Panola Eagle Club. That's going to be at the McKeever Shooting Facility, by the way. The proceeds will benefit the mission of the Panola Eagle Club and Boy Scout Troop 478. And I'm trying to look. All right, here it is. So registration is at 7:30 a.m. that morning. Safety and rules briefing will be at 8:15. 8:30 a.m. will be a shotgun start, and 12 p.m. will be lunch, followed by awards. Now, here's the prices. It's a 4-person team. It's $400. A 4-person school or 4-H team is $350. So you get a little bit of a discount. Team and station sponsor. So if you want to have a team and be a station sponsor, it's $550. Or maybe it's just, you're sponsoring a team and a station. It's $550. Station only sponsor is $250. That sounds like a good deal. That sounds like a great deal. Everybody wins. The Boy Scout Troop wins. You win as a participant. Businesses win as sponsors. Everybody wins. And the mission wins. That sounds cool. So if you like to shoot clays, or if you've never done it, you'd like to try it. Sounds like a perfect time to go do it. You're knowing that your donation goes to great causes anyway. Why would you not want to do that? Why would you not want to do that? And I'm sitting here looking for, I know there was more things going on because they put up their calendar. And I'm trying to find, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is nothing else until November. But I could have sworn. Now, baseball does have their Scare on the Square October 25th. So, you got your Scare on the Square from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. That will be that's their trick or trunk. It'll be on the square. So be sure you check that out. They always have a big one down there. It's always nice. The Scare on the Square is cool. It is. It's pretty cool. So be sure you're checking that out. There's a lot of stuff. And don't forget, Baseball Civitan Radio Day is coming up. And it's coming up soon, folks. This is going to be one fun ride. Baseball Civitan Radio Day is here. Civitan Radio Day is November 22nd this year from 8 to 2 p.m. live on Undefined Radio and Q105 FM. Radio Day is the Baseball Civitan's main yearly fundraiser. Civitan Radio Day funds the Birmingham Children's Hospital, the Grace Place, and needy individuals in our area who need a hand up. Most every business in baseball buys as it gives auction items to support Radio Day. Make sure yours is one of those as it goes to a great cause. It is the fastest 6 hours you've ever experienced on radio. Tune in and place your bids live November 22nd. And there you go. There you go. Baseball Civitan Radio Day is cool because if you've never done a live auction before, oh, man. If you've never been part of a live auction at all, it's fun. It's really pretty cool. It's a lot of fun. I mean, it really is. You get on there and because they have all these items right on the board, and you're looking at these things and you're like, all right, I want to bid on that, but you gotta be quick, right? You gotta get your bids in and then hope nobody outbids you. So you gotta be careful. And so we're taking calls in from the radio station. You're taking calls. You see them trying to place bids. You can see the items. If you follow us online, Undefined Radio and all that, you'll see it right there. You'll see the items all right there in front of your face. Right, they show you the big boards and what's currently available. So you got your big board, which is the one that you can bid on all day long, and then you got a ton of smaller boards, and they have so many great items you can auction, all right, that you can get at this auction. It's a really cool event. I look forward to it every year, and this is my first year I actually get to be in the mix, right? I get to be down there amongst it, helping host it, so that's going to be fun. I'm excited about that too. That's always a good time right there, buddy. It is always a good time because, and they're having so much fun. And there is a lot that happens in and out of there. There's a lot that happens in and out of there. I want to see if I can get to some, good Lord, man, the days are passing quickly. Like to say happy birthday to Brittany Clemens today. Happy birthday to Billy Brown. We had some yesterday that I didn't get to. We had Bridget Woolfolk, Tiffany Cooper, Charlie Belt, Cody Dawkins, Ulano Osborne. We had Cadravius Washington's birthday, Wayne Blaylock. We had Landon Flippo's birthday, Michael Alberts, Susan Sinkfield's, Shane Russell, the son of Lance Russell. His birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday to all of you guys. Nikki Dotson, what a sweetheart she is. Happy birthday to her. Michael Davidson, happy birthday to him. Kim, happy birthday to you. That's Kim Seeley. And Kay Banks and Crossman, happy birthday, Crossman, and to my Aunt Sherry. Happy birthday. And if you want your birthdays read, you know somebody who needs a birthday read off live on air, get them to me and we'll certainly do that. We'll be more than happy to do that because it's that time of the year that you hear me talk about every day that I love so much. And I do. It's really kind of sad. My obsession with this time of the year may be unhealthy. Oh, well, speaking of that, let me just tell you, getting this blood pressure under control, buddy. That's right. Finally getting it under control. My God, it's been a fight. But Big Daddy's feeling good. He's feeling good for a change. Finally. Feeling awesome. Feeling great. This weather, about to be feeling great. Today, you're going to have a high near 83. Wednesday, high near 85. Thursday, again, 85. Friday, high near 87. Trying to get a last little spurt of heat. Because Saturday, there's going to be a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms after 1 p.m. But it's going to be a high near 83. And then Sunday, a high near 75. Monday, a high near 76. You see what we're doing? We're getting down into the 70s. Hopefully, by the grace of God, it will last. I need those temps in the 70s. Need those temps in the 70s. 70s is where I feel the best at. 70s where you just feel good and cozy and yummy. Yes, I said I feel yummy in the 70s. I do. Certainly so. Absolutely so. So I'm looking forward to that. Oh, those good weathers things right there are so nice. What else is happening around here? Not much around here, though. I did bake my first pumpkin spice roll last night. Don't know how that's going to turn out. Haven't cut into it yet. That'll be later on today. We'll see. We've got so much to talk about with these hostages being returned. It is tough. I know Trump is going to give Charlie Kirk the Medal of Freedom Award, posthumously, of course. These actors kill me, man. These actors kill me. They do. I mean, come on. Your job is to sit down, shut up, and entertain. That's your job. That's what you know. Entertain us. If you're not actually in the job and doing the job, just don't say it. There's none. Stop it. Stop it. Because here we got another one crawling out of the woodwork, right? Martin Sheen. Because he played the president, thinks he knows all about it. Referred to Trump as the biggest nothing in the world. This is coming from a man who's only played pretend his whole life. He's only played pretend his whole entire life. That's it. That's it. And yet he's going to lecture us on what is right and what is not, what is just and what isn't. He's talking about like it's President Trump's administration is corrupt and joyless one. Really? What did we just endure 4 years of? How much corruption is being dug up from this? And not only that, from Obama's outgoing administration. How much corruption is being dug up there when they were trying to slander Trump and do all these things to him? I mean, and then this moron's going to come out because he played somebody acting, playing pretend, that all of a sudden he knows. It is hilarious. Hilarious. You never hardly got to look inside the Biden White House for reasons. But he said, when you look at this group of people, he's talking about this, the roundtables they do, right? When you look at this group of people at the round table in the White House, every one of those people look across the table and they do not see anyone who is better than they are. They generally see a reflection of their worst selves. There are no heroes in there. There's no music. There's no laughter. There's no self-effacement. There's no joy in that room. It smells of ego and fear and false worship, which couldn't be further from the truth, right? Right? And then you've got people. So the person that he's interviewing, right, or person that is interviewing him is Nicole Wallace, all right, who has this Best People's podcast, which when you make a statement like this, you know you can't take these people seriously. She told Sheen right there to his face, you play one of the best presidents we've ever known. It's fictional. All right. The stuff that they do on that show, fictitious. That administration could get nothing done in the real world. I love that. He says this too, because it's wild. It really is wild. He said, so the big guy in the White House, if he would take some personal advice from someone who's never been a president, by the way, you got to realize, sir, that you are the biggest nothing in the world. And sir, you stop there. You stop listening to all these people around you, these sycophants who are encouraging you to be your non-human self. What is he even saying? Get in touch with your humanity. Where in Hollywood are these morons in touch with their humanity? Show me one. I mean, it is wild. So it's hilarious that this moron was trying to give anybody, especially someone who's the leader of the free world, the only president who could bring peace to the Middle East, because not a one before this one has been able to do that. And this becomes the problem. That's the real problem in this country, is that people idolize actors who truly are fake, because that's what they do. They play pretend. They say words written down for them, not their own words, by the way. Words written down for them. and then want to claim that they have some kind of higher understanding of life than you do. So it's wild. SoCal getting its first big rain in over 6 months. Headline news around. Oh, yeah, there you go. I think these weather patterns are changing too. I do think these weather patterns are changing up pretty well here. I mean, it's kind of wild to see. I want to see. And here's another crazy headline that I don't get. So there was a recent street takeover in Boston. Did y'all hear about this? I mean, it's wild. You've got these kids just running amok. And technically, because they want to be it, they're adults, 18 and 19 years old. All right. There was over 100 people were involved in the takeover. That involved street racing after 2 a.m. on October 5th. There were more than 100 people trying to attack police cruisers with fireworks, cones, poles, and other items. I mean, this is wildness. You have got to teach these kids a dang lesson because their parents aren't doing it. And you know what? I probably misspoke right there because that's not necessarily true either. That's not necessarily true either. Sometimes a parent can do all they can. They can discipline, they can do whatever. A bad child is going to turn out to be a bad child. Or they can get caught up in the moment. That happens too. There are a lot of different ways this works. But at the end of the day, there has to be consequences for what happens here. I mean, it went through 4 different communities. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. So you're assaulting police officers, you're destroying a community. They need to get in there and arrest all of them. They were. It's wild. It's wild. They got 2 of the guys pled not guilty after being caught doing it. Right. Bail was set at $500 for one, $1,000 for the other. And they were fist bumping after learning to bail them out. Prosecutors had asked for $15,000 cash bail for Bowers, $20,000 for Cantwell. But no, in these blue cities, we can't do that. We got to slap them on this. This is why your big cities like that and these blue run cities are just being trashed. You've got no good leadership. There's no consequences. Your police are the ones being handcuffed here, which is stupid. But here we go. Man, it's not hard to see the root cause of this. I mean, it's really not. But yet, this is what we get. This is what we get. Man, I gotta tell you, it makes you wonder. It makes you wonder. It really does. So we sit here a day after the hostages have been returned. And what a sight that was. What a sight that was watching these hostages be freed. The reunification with their families and loved ones. It was moving. I mean, moving. It was something that you're watching it. And like, you can't imagine, unless you've been through it. You can't imagine what they've been through. Like when people talk about empathizing, this is kind of what Charlie Kirk had talked about that one time that got blown so out of context. I can sympathize, but I can't empathize because I've never been through anything like it. I couldn't imagine that. Being held like that for 2 years. Half the hostages have been deceased. Only 20 return. And their families are having to wait and hope that maybe one day they'll get released and not buried. You see the one video of the one hostage digging his own grave? He was one of those released, but literally digging his own grave in a tunnel. Imagine that. And having to narrate it. He's having to narrate himself digging his own grave. How many of you can empathize with that? You can't. You can't imagine it. But the sympathy is sure there. Good Lord. That's wild. It was insane watching that. And it's almost sometimes, because we are so sheltered over here, we really are from horrific atrocities like that for the most part. You just can't imagine it. And the ones who were deceased, who were already killed, who died from the conditions, it's just wild. And here's what I love, and we'll get to this in a minute. Now, I'll tell you what, I'll go through this report first, because I did want to talk about this one, and then we'll get to some of these, to some of the other hostages who were released. But there were 2 of the 4 deceased hostages whose coffins were received from Hamas. And Hamas did this through the Red Cross, right? That was the go-between. Let's see. I'm trying to find the spot. I found it earlier. They were brought back from burial. They were kidnapped alive after escaping the Nova Music Festival. He succumbed to his wounds because he didn't get the proper medical treatment. Right? One was just murdered in captivity in the first months of the war. It's just, and God, it's just heartbreaking. It's just heartbreaking. You see this, and look, people say, well, the war is over. Sure, the war itself is over, but the violence, but it ain't over yet. You think Hamas is just going to go, well, you know what? We're not going to be a death cult anymore. We're not going to be terrorists anymore. No. That's still going to be a thing. But you know what it does now? It now gives this administration, and gives the rest of the Middle East just cause to wipe out Hamas. It does. Don't be surprised if you see it. Don't be surprised if you see that happening. Don't be surprised at all. At all. God. But just like the Democrats are accepting pats on the back, all right, taking the glory, taking some credit for the ceasefire agreement. Yeah. The road to this deal was not easy, one of them wrote. Said, my administration worked relentlessly to bring hostages home, give relief to Palestinian civilians in the war. And then Trump just got the ceasefire deal over the finish line. My ass. Whatever. Stop those lies. Stop those lies. Stop it. You guys tried to glad hand and when nobody having it because you were cowards. There was no way you were going to do it. You had no backbone, no spine. Peace through strength is what got this done. You had no effect on any of this. Anthony Blinken is such an idiot. You had no. He had no. Biden administration had no influence on how this deal came about. Period. They had nothing to do with it. Hamas just laughed at them. They had nothing to do with this. We had a 20-point plan. We stuck around. We had a 20-point plan. They couldn't get past point 1. But they had a 20-point plan. It's just like them to take credit for something they did not do. Yeah, I don't care. Be mad about it. You know it's true. You know it's true because it makes me angry. That just, You just can't come out and say, congratulations, great job. So here's what this idiot said. It starts with a clear and comprehensive post-conflict plan for Gaza. It's good that President Trump adopted and built on the plan the Biden administration developed after months of discussion with Arab partners, Israel, and the Palestinian Authority. Did none of them people take y'all seriously because they knew y'all were soft? Trump sent his guys in there, and they're the ones who took care of it. They're the ones who got this thing done. Trump met with all these heads of state from all these Arab countries and got this done. It had nothing to do with the Biden administration. Nothing to do with the Biden administration. Those dudes can't see the forest through the trees ever. Ever. What was done here was all on Trump's watch. It had nothing to do with the rest of these morons. It didn't. Had nothing to do with the Biden, that clown show. And it was a clown show. Had nothing to do with him. And I bet you it just killed some of these guys, these late night talk show hosts. It killed them to have to praise Trump a little bit for this. You know, they hated it. They're like, we got to say something nice. This sucks. But we had a request for a song I wanted to play. And hopefully, we'll see if it gets muted or not. But I'm going to play it anyway. Because when you're watching, like, you saw the guy in the wheelchair get when they pulled up and they got him out, and just, I remember the van door opening, and you see what the nation, how they responded was so beautiful. You saw American flags all over Israel. I mean, if you can't appreciate what happened, then I don't know what kind of human you are. But this song is dedicated to them wanting to request this, and I agree. And I've never heard this version done, but this is Everyday People featuring Jack Johnson.
We're here to make producing.
It's featuring Jack Johnson, Jason Mraz, and Kev Mo. This was actually done 9 years ago. Zen thought it appropriate, and I don't disagree with him. So we're about to play this thing. I hope you enjoy this. I hope you can hear this, because you can't tell what the sound issue is going to be like. But let's go for it. Everyday People, folks.
Sometimes I'm right, and I can be wrong. My own beliefs are in my songs. Butcher, the baker, the drummer, and then makes no difference what group I'm in.
But sometimes I'm right, and I can be wrong. My own beliefs are in my song. The butcher, the banker, the drummer, and then it makes no difference what group I'm in. 'Cause I am everyday people.
There is a blue one who can't accept the green one, for living with the fat one, trying to be a skinny one. Different strokes for different folks, and so on and so on. And Scooby Dooby 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 Doo. Shy, shy. We got to live together.
I am no better, and neither are you. We are the same, whatever we do. You love me, you hate me, you know me, and then still can't figure out the thing I'm in.
And everyday people. There is a take you home.
Oh, there you go. Wow. Wow, that was so good. I was going to go right to commercial break, but I got to tell you, I had to speak on this real quick while it's fresh on my mind. This is what, to me, entertainers should be doing out in their communities like that. You want to give back instead of preaching from your high horse on these podcasts and stuff. How about go out in your communities and actually do something for the people there? Jack Johnson, Jason Mraz, Kev Moe, and so many others. I think Tim Robbins was in this video. Yeah, there are so many. And they're out and they're uplifting these kids. And that I can always get behind. Let's go. And what a great song, by the way. They did a great job on it. But to me, that's where y'all should be doing. Get out there and uplift these kids that way. Do it that way. You don't have to be here trying to preach to the rest of us like you know something. Don't. Use your gifts doing what you do. How about that? That was an awesome one. Great call out, Zen. I like that right there. You are listening to Undefined Voices right here on Undefined Radio.
First Security Bank is proud to support all area football teams. While you may not win every game, your friends at First Security Bank hope and pray that you play hard and be true to your team. It takes each one of you to play your role, and the position on the team has its challenges, but we choose to persevere and win regardless of the numbers on the scoreboard. Make this season your best season. First Security Bank, we are one. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
North Delta Football is coming to you live all season long, thanks to TVI Fiber, proud sponsor of the Green Wave broadcast. Just like our players on the field, TVI Fiber delivers speed, strength, and reliability you can count on. Lightning fast internet, powerful connections, and dependable service. That's a winning game plan every time. From kickoff to the final whistle, TVI Fiber keeps fans connected. Whether you're tuning in from home, on the go, or cheering from miles away. TVI Fiber. TVIfiber.com. Built for the community, by the community.
Let Panola Paper Company be your source for supplies for your business or organization today. They can provide paper, janitorial supplies, food service disposables, office supplies, concessions, party supplies, warehouse and shipping supplies, first aid and safety items, and the list goes on and on and on. With free next-day delivery service to most locations, call them today for a catalog and pricing to start saving your business money. Order online at panolapaper.com, panolapaper.com, or call them at 563-5222, 563-5222. Panola Paper Company in Batesville in the Industrial Park, panolapaper.com.
All right, there you go, panolapaper.com. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thanks to all our great supporters. That would be First Security Bank, TVI Fiber, TV, EPA, Wells Funeral Home, Caldwell Insurance, Panola Paper, KudzuCarts.com. You need a golf cart, KudzuCarts.com is your place to go. And, of course, Cockrell Family Medical Insurance. We appreciate all the love and support we get right there, as always. So I was talking about the stuff that happened yesterday. And then President Trump goes to, and this was really cool. I thought this was really cool. All right. I don't know how you guys are going to think about it. I thought it was really cool. He goes and talks to their parliament, right? To the Israeli parliament. And there's all kinds of people in here. And you're sitting there, and he's giving this, probably one of his better speeches he gives is this one. And again, this is an antithesis to what Martin Sheen was trying to preach about and give Trump advice about. But Trump was very good about being very self-deprecating, especially there's this little clip on it was this clip from Air Force One where he made this comment a couple of weeks ago that he was trying to get into heaven. It was off the cuff, just in jest comment he made. But so Peter Doocy asked him about this again yesterday. And Trump was this was such a great moment because he was being self-deprecating. At the same time, you could tell how happy he was anyway, this deal had gotten done. But about saying he don't think he was made for heaven. He probably wasn't getting into heaven, but he just wanted to make sure that people were safe. If you haven't seen the clip, you should watch it. It is a great moment. It's an incredible moment, really, because it just speaks to how the narrative that the left have versus the reality of who the man is. I mean, and the sad part is if you can't see it for yourself, then again, I think there's something wrong there. That means you're listening to the wrong things. You're not actually doing any of this research for yourself. Because like me, I'm not one of those who
a couple weeks ago, you were doing an interview and you talked about how you hope to end Ukraine because it might help you get in it. How does this help? Does this help?
I mean, I'm being a little cute. I don't think there's anything going to get.
You had talked a couple weeks ago. You were doing a couple weeks ago. You were doing it and talked about how you hope to end the war in Ukraine because it might help you to heaven. How does this help? Does this help?
I mean, I'm being a little cute. I don't think there's anything going to get me in heaven. Okay, I really don't. I think I'm not maybe heaven bound. I may be in heaven right now as we fly an Air Force One. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to make heaven, but I've made life a lot better for a lot of people, and
that's what I like. That's what I mean right there. What a great self-deprecating thing, because this is a huge thing that he's done. This is a huge thing that he's done. His administration has done. And we sent Steve over there and Jared over there to do this. All of these, by the way, are real estate guys who get things done, deal guys, right? When we talked about in 2016, we need a businessman leading the country. This is why. Because what do those people do? They show up and they get to work. Trump doesn't get a lot of sleep because he's always working on the next thing. They expect results. They don't sit there and just talk and hyperbole and around and around and around and around and around. They don't. They go get things done. That's what guys like that do. Like, they don't wait around. Like, if something's not happening, they're on their people. Why is this not happening? Let's get it done. Let's get it done. That's why Trump is able to do the things he does. He doesn't just say something and just wait. How many times do we do that? I know I'm guilty of it. Like, if I send out a sponsorship thing, or I'll send out something to be a part of or be a part of the show, anything like that, or I'm trying to get a booking of wrestling, whatever it is, I'll send it out and then I'll just sit back and wait. I won't follow up. Not for a while. When those guys are immediately like, I haven't heard anything. It's been 24 hours. I know you read it. Where's that response at? That's how they are. It's wild, man. It's wild. And it's cool to see. And that's why things are getting done. That's why things are getting done. They don't just sit there and take no for an answer or accept no answer, right? Like, you're going to tell me, we're going to talk about this. We're going to get this done one way or the other. And they go for it. They're go-getters. That's why things get done. That's why other guys don't get things done. That's why these other administrations struggle, because they're politicians. We're just going to sit here and talk amongst ourselves, say good things to the people to, just throw them off the scent because the American people are stupid. That's how they look at us. They look at us as gullible sheep. Trump don't care. That man don't care. It is amazing to see. I enjoy watching it because it's amazing to see the stuff he's gotten done. We're only a good 10 months in, not even 10 full months, 9 full months into his, because he took office, January 21st? 9 full months into his presidency. And my God, the things that are happening in this country, it's wild. And I know there's going to be people out there that say it's chaos. It's chaos. No, it's not. No, it's not. There's a lot of crybabies out there. Daddy didn't let me have my way, so I got to throw a fit. That's what we got. That's what we got. Trump is a builder, a real worker. He knows how to get the job done. Most politicians never worked a day in their lives. True. We share this moment for only a little time. Let's have some fun and enjoy. Again, Agreed. You know, it scares me for what comes after Trump, really. And I say that only this because I think if J.D. Vance gets it again, then here we go. It's just Trump 2.0. Let's go. But you let a Democrat get back in there and all this hard work is undone. And then here comes the rest of the world knowing they can bully America again because the Democrats are going to be soft on the rest of the country. They're going to do that. They're going to do that little beta male helicopter parenting. My baby can do no wrong, stuff that just doesn't have any effect on anybody. They will let the inmates run the asylum. And that's what happens. And we know this because we've had plenty to choose from. And there have been Republicans in the past who are the same way. So they're not blameless. And that's not what we're saying. What we're saying is we see a shift where people are trying to get things done. Politicians, all that old school is getting kicked out on both sides. And some need to be gone, but some of these wackos on the left, boy, wow. And there's some nut jobs on the right. Don't get twisted. There are. But you see more and more people on the right coming in who are just trying to get stuff done, who are realizing it is okay to stand firm, stand your ground, and take offensive. Take the offensive. Let's go. Let's get this done. Let's get this country back to what it was. Let's don't lose it to stupidity. All right. And that's one of the reasons I love Pete Hegseth. What he's done with the military is awesome. It is. What he's done with the military is awesome. People can whine about it. What he's done with the military is awesome. I mean, cross-dresser as your leader. Stop. Such a joke. All for celebrity points. And that's what the Democratic Party has become. Celebrity driven. Like the politicians themselves want to be celebrities. So they want to be able to hobnob with celebrities. They want that rub. They want that clout. They don't really care about you. All they care about is themselves being able to hobnob with these rich and famous people. Because that's what they want to be, rich and famous. People say, well, what about Trump? What about Trump? This is a billionaire who doesn't have to do this job, who chooses to do this job because he loves this country. I just watched a golf video with him and Kai, his granddaughter. It was so fun. It was such a great, wholesome thing, just seeing him out in his element, just the love he has for his granddaughter. I mean, people have Trump pegged so wrong, and it's wild. It's wild. And, people have no grace, right? People have no grace. I think it's one of those things. People think they are beyond reproach. And, but I felt today, our In View of Eternity today is going to be about peace. It's going to be about peace. Michael Bates talks about peace. This is going to be about peace. Play this intro real quick to this, and then we'll get right to it.
Wells Funeral Home and Cremation Service, your locally owned family funeral home and cremation service in Batesville. We love supporting our North Delta Green Wave High School athletics, and we are ready for some football. We are proud of the program at North Delta and the hard work our athletes have put in. Wells Funeral Home and Cremation Service in Batesville, proud of our Green Waves. We are ready to serve you, and we are ready for some football. Visit our website at wellsfuneralhome.net or call us at 662-563-5700.
Hey, good morning to you again. Good to have you along with us today in this midweek. Hope everything is going well for you and for yours. Thank you for listening to In View of Eternity today. This week, we've kind of taken a deep dive into Jeremiah chapter 6. God is trying to warn his people, in particular, Jerusalem, of a coming destruction. They have sinned against God. They have broken their covenant with him. And he is trying to send warning so that they may hear and repent, that this doesn't come upon them. As we look back in history, we realize that they did not listen, and they were destroyed, and many of them then carried away into captivity. As we think about this particular passage, we noticed earlier in the week, verse 10 says one of the problems that these of God's people had was the fact that they did not delight in God's word anymore. It was a reproach to them. Yesterday, we noticed that they were all given to covetousness, or they were greedy for gain, from the prophet even to the priest. Everyone was dealing falsely just so they could get more money. Whatever it was they could do, whoever it is they had to hurt, whatever false thing they had to say to deceive someone, they're willing to do in order to get more wealth. Well, today we look down at verse number 14, where God says, they have healed the hurt of my people, the brokenness of my people. Superficially, King James says slightly, by saying peace, peace. And then he says, when there is no peace. You know, a lot of times when our leaders have misled us, when our own stubbornness is what is keeping us from repenting and doing what's right, it's easy for others to tell us, or for us to tell ourselves, oh, just be at peace. There's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to be unsettled about. Oh, we're not behaving that wrongly. We're not being that bad. These people were probably thinking, oh, when God comes and visits judgment, it's only because on our enemies. It's only at these Gentile nations. But this time it would be them. And he said they're superficially telling the people that they have peace. He says when there is no peace. Isaiah 48 and verse 18, I think, says it best. Or at the end of that chapter, rather, Isaiah 48. There is no peace, says the Lord, unto the wicked. Only peace can be found through the Prince of Peace, Jesus Christ. Romans chapter 5, verses 1 and 2 tells us how we can have peace with God, and it's only through his Son. In view of eternity, do you have that peace today? Thank you for listening. I'm Michael Bates.
I always love listening to Michael Bates. Such a good one. That was such a good one. And it is about peace and finding peace and having peace. There's nothing better than having that peace in your life. Like, you'll see this, especially younger people. It's not just a younger people thing. People in general, you'll see people who just thrive on drama, right? They thrive on conflict and chaos. And then they're the very ones talking about they hate conflict and chaos, yet it's all around them. Like they can't see it. I mean, like they truthfully can't understand it, but that they're in the midst of it, that they may be the harbinger of it. And yet there it is. And they can't find that peace. It is nice to find peace in your life. When you cut out all the negative, when you disassociate from those negative, toxic people, it's the best feeling in the world, because then you can get on about living for you. And I said this to somebody one time. I'm like, you got to live for yourself. And they told me, well, that's selfish. I'm like, no, it's not. Because if you can't live for yourself, you can't help anybody else. If you can't help yourself, you can't help anybody else. You may think you're helping other people, but you're not. You're not. Those people are looking at you. They're not stupid. They see it. They see the rot that's there. They do. They see the rot that's there. So you've got to live for yourself. You got to be able to help yourself and take care of yourself, because you're the first thing these people see when you're trying to extend a hand to them to help them. And if it's not together for you, you can't expect to get it together for them. It's all about leading by example. I used to have a deal, and I was taught this from a young age. And it was this: never ask somebody to do something you're not willing to do yourself. And I know you've heard this probably a million times in your life, but it's a very true statement. Like, my employees always knew if I asked them to do something, it's because I've already done it. And I don't mind jumping in the fire with you. Let's go. whatever it takes to get this done. And I'm still that way to this day. Even with a bad back and bad hips, if you need help with something, I'm there. I got you. Let's go. Let's go. Because I think that's what true leadership is. It's not taking the easy way back or the easy way out or the easy path forward. It's about willing to get your hands dirty and do what you have to do to fix the problem, to fix the issue, to get the job done. And it can be tough. It can be tough. But when you come out the other side, I just feel like it cleanses your soul. Like there's something magical and spellbinding about it. About getting through that. About pushing through something that's difficult. There just is. There is something in your soul that just thrives on being able to overcome the adversity of a potential situation. Or maybe I'm just crazy and it's just me. But that's how I look at it. That's how I've always looked at it. And as I get older, I look at it that way even more. I do. I just think it's something that's kind of cool and kind of special about human beings and what we're capable of when we allow ourselves to be capable, when we allow ourselves to do the things we're put on this earth to do. Every one of us has a special skill. What's yours? What's yours? What is yours? We've had some amazing days, man. We have. We've had some amazing stuff happen. It's been wild. Yesterday was a phenomenally incredible day, historic day. And what will today bring? What will today bring? That's the question. I know one thing I'm excited about is the fact that today, and I talked about this early in the show, is that Trump will bestow the Medal of Freedom upon Charlie Kirk posthumously on Charlie Kirk's birthday, which is today. He would have been 32 today. And what a powerful force he's been. What a powerful force he's been. And I think will continue to be. Serves as an inspiration to people. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Go forth and spread that message. And that's what Charlie Kirk did. He was an inspiration. His video views have just gone up because people are being introduced to him. And they sit down, they actually watch his videos. And I know people have gone back and they watched videos before for the back and forth of it, but now they watch them to understand the video, to understand the message. And I think that's cool. I think that's cool. So if you're out there today, you need prayers, drop them down below. We'll drop them in our prayer chain. If you need great thoughts, if you need inspiration, be an inspiration to somebody else too. Go out there and take care of yourselves. And I hope to see you back here tomorrow morning as we continue on with this show. Appreciate everybody who's been a part of this. It's always good to see you in the comments. It's always good to hear from you and request things. And I'm always grateful when you tune in. So we'll be back here tomorrow on Hump Day. And we'll get this thing done once again. Be safe out there. See you soon.
I don't want to tell him what a cheap, lying, no good, rotten, four-flushing, low-life, snake-licking, dirt-eating, inbred, overstuffed, ignorant.